on the Rock, by Eliza Fenwick. Volume 3, Letter 4. From the Same to the Same. I know not precisely where to begin, nor how much of the adventure I told you in my last. Did I not say that, while yet at my oak, Nina entered the wood a little below the tomb, and without observing me began to climb the rock? But I think I broke off before I had mentioned her swift return at my call, and the irresolution she betrayed by running backward and forward from me to the rock, and from the rock back again to me. Desirous to know what her manner portended, I arose as if to follow, and away she bounded, taking the path up to the hermitage. As she ascended much swifter than I could, she waited on the outer side of the ruin till I also arrived, and then bent her course round to the farther part, which, being the most perfect of the building, I imagined she had chosen for the purpose of sheltering her young ones. It is called the chapel. Standing on a projecting point of the rock, it is difficult to access, for the path is cumbered with loose stones, from one to the other of which runs in perplexing branches the twining ivy. High grass and clusters of bramble choke the wild flowers that shed their inviting fragrance on part of the lower side of the rock, nor do I remember ever but twice before to have gone beyond the unroofed cell, where Clement and I, one happy spring morning, raised a seat of stone, and plucked away the weeds that new-springing grass might mingle with our mossy footstool. There too we planted a woodbine, rose and jessamine, but the cell refused nourishment to our favourites. Foiled in our attempt to make the ruin bloom a garden, it had no longer for us any attractions. Nina's wistful look as she again stopped at the chapel's entrance now tempted me on, but it could tempt me no farther. At the stairs my curiosity, or at least all inclination to gratify it, terminated. In one corner of this small chapel, where the wall is yet undecayed, remains a kind of altar. Some stones in front have fallen away, and discover a flight of dark narrow steps. I concluded Nina had concealed her young in the vault below, for she would not return when I called. But I could not think of encountering I knew not what damp and darkness, in the hope of finding them. Both suppositions were erroneous. The cell is superior in dimensions and dryness to those above ground, nor had my fawn any offspring there. This place, Caroline, was Mr. Murden's abode. Thence he ascended followed by Nina, and stood before me the original of your painting, and the same who once in the wood started from every appearance of feeble age into youth and vigour. He named himself. Miss Valmont, said he, I no longer bear a borrowed character. Henceforward, should you ever think of me, know I am Murden, the friend of Clement Montgomery, and the acquaintance, I dare not say more, of your Miss Ashburn. Already the victim of unsuccessful love, by all my hopes of heaven, I came hither only to seek your consolations. The world cannot find time to soothe a breaking heart. You in solitude might. But you have no pity, no friendship. An accident keeps me here this day, or I had now been gone for ever. Do not, Miss Valmont, do not set your people of the castle to hunt me, for I am desperate. Whose victim are you? Said I. Whose? Repeated he loudly and wildly. Did you say whose, Miss Valmont? Then turning away and sinking his voice, he said, Ay, whose indeed? Do you know, added he, approaching nearer to me, that death is of icy coldness? The eye beams no tidings, for the heart feels no warmth. Such is my love to me. Tell me, Miss Valmont, what would you do were Clement thus? Alas! Die also. Oh, brave! Said Murden with a strange kind of smile. Bear witness, thou unhallowed gloomy mansion, for one moment of our lives are we agreed. Miss Valmont, I shall never see you more. If I have created uneasiness in your breast, by my strange visits to this spot, forgive and forget it. Ask me no questions. In some hour of less anguish than the present, I will tell Miss Ashburn how and why I came hither. Another person there is also to whom I shall owe the detail. Hold, for I was going to speak. Do not name him. Your last words were, Die also. To me your last, choicest blessing. No, No, I will not hear you speak again. This is our final interview. In peace and safety, Miss Valmont, return to your wood. And when remembrances of love shall be no longer remembrances of happiness, then die also. And who, Caroline, could outlive their remembrances of happiness? I have placed myself 1 minute in the situation of this unfortunate young man. I beheld the tomb close upon the lifeless form of Clement, and in the wide world there was no longer room for me. Murden descended to his cell, and I went home to weep for him. Will not you weep for him, my friend? And Clement too? I feel you will. Clement knows full well the value of requited affection. He will soothe his friend, but he will not ask him to live. It would be cruelty. Nina looked kindly at me, but she followed Murden, and since he quitted that ill-chosen abode, I often see her descending the rock. She even appears to mourn his absence, and she looks around expectingly, and starts at every gust of wind, as she used when Clement first bade us adieu. Either to you or Clement I appeal for the further history of your drooping friend. Bid Clement write, be it only 3 words, bless my Sibella, and I will wear it next my heart, a charm to hold disease and foreboding at defiance. My dearest friend, farewell. Sibella Valmont. End of Section 38.